What's going on, you guys? This is Indead right here. Just want to make this new video for y'all. So I was thinking, okay. So here's the situation. I've been playing games since I was a kid, right? 95, 96, somewhere in there. I've been playing games since I was a kid, and for a long time I never ended up getting a DS or a Wii. For a long time. I've got them now, of course. I got a 3DS. I got a Wii a couple years ago. But for the longest time, I never went out and got one. I didn't get a Wii until 2000, I think beginning of 2011 or the end of 2010, one of the two. I didn't have a DS until I bought a 3DS earlier this year, back in January. But my mom ended up buying a DS and a Wii before me. Now, my mom was interested in the DS because she had played a lot of games with her coworkers on lunch breaks and stuff. They would sit there and they'd play classic card games and little touchscreen puzzle games and stuff. So my mom generally plays, like Hoyle classic games. There's a lot of classic game collections and card games and stuff on the DS. Whole bunch of puzzle games. I'm having a hard time figuring them out. My mom would play games like Bejeweled. She would play games like Bejeweled. There's a Seven Wonders of the World game. I think that's what it was called on the DS. I know that's what it was called on PSP. It's kind of like Bejeweled, except you have to, complete all the different areas in a block grid pattern. So there was just a number of puzzle games and stuff that she was interested in. Those are the ones she was most interested in. So my mom had a DS before me, and same with the Wii. But the only Wii game she's got, it's disgusting, I know. The only Wii game she got, Wii Sports Resort, because that's the bundle she got. And she's got those stupid, like, Jillian Michaels exercise games, where you could they just expect you to run and then just, like, have a Wii mode in your hand. It's like you're running. No, honestly, if you're going to do that stuff, get a Kinect. I don't endorse that because I hate games like that, but if you're going to do that, get a Kinect. Like, at least it works. But that, and she has like Wheel of Fortune. And my mom's the kind of person that spends like $20 or $30 on a game just because she thinks she's gonna play it, and then like either never does, or literally in the case of Wheel of Fortune, we went home, I had to teach her how to sit there and play it and play the game or whatever, and then after that she had never touched it. She bought that over the summer. She played it once. $30 for a game she's played once. Now, you know me, I play everything. Tons of stuff. I play everything. And if you don't know me, by the way, I play everything. So, yes. PC, Xbox, 360, PS3, Dreamcast, PlayStation, NES, Atari 2600. Everything from the 2600 to the Wii U. That's what we play, okay? We play everything. And I'm trying to figure out what are introductory level games I could get my mom to play. Because the best game I found was Wii Play. Okay? Wii Play is a phenomenal game at teaching people who do not play games how to play games. Wii Play very, very slowly introduces newer and more interesting and slightly more difficult gameplay mechanics, to ultimately you're playing full classic style, like dual control systems. We're using a nunchuck in one hand and a Wii mode in the other. That's the ultimate level that this game reaches, and that's perfect. If you haven't played Wii Play, it's a goofy little game full of a bunch of little mini games. That's whatever. But honestly, if you want to try and get your parents into trying out a game, this is a good game to do it, because it uses the Wiimote, and it takes away a lot of that button stuff that your parents get all worried over, or get all stressed out about. Wii Play is a very good game. It just one by one teaches new mechanics, and then adds it. Teaches you how to point, how to click, how to do this. Then it introduces how to do the shifting, how to turn the Wiimote and actually use the face buttons and shake it up and down and jump and turn with it that way and tilt it forward and backwards, and all the different mechanics of the Wiimote. Ultimately, to hooking up a nunchuck and playing a top-down perspective classic tank game where you're driving around as little tanks and shooting one another, and it's perfect, and you cannot play the other games until you played the previous ones. So you play the first one, then the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one, then the fifth one, then the sixth one, and then there's 8 games total. But it's a perfectly paced game for that. So the question I have is, what can I do to try and get my mom to play other games? So I'm going to do a follow-up video some point where I've gone around and looked through my collection of games and try and figure out what the hell I have that my mom could play. That's nice and simple, but still interesting enough, and not, and at the same time, like for example, you have to approach this in a manner in which they're not discouraged, because you can play simple games like a beat 'em up. You could play like Streets of Rage, 2 buttons, jump, punch, press them at the same time for a special attack, and just move around with a D-pad. You could do that, but that game has a difficulty setting on it that would that would turn off people who didn't like getting their butt beat. And that my mom's the kind of one that would be like, well, this kind of thing, it's a little stiff in this regard and blah blah blah, and I don't like the way it plays, and I'm not having I'm not having a whole lot of fun. So I'm trying to find perfect games that would fit my mom's play style or her knowledge of what she does know about games and what she can play. She's been around computers and whatever all of her life, and she likes the touch aspect of the DS, but she doesn't like finger touch, multi-touch stuff. Like a smartphone would blow her mind, but she can use the stylus single touch of a DS. That works really perfect for her, and she doesn't mind the Wiimote kind of crap. But I don't want her to dabble in Wiimote kind of crap because it's stupid. So yeah, trying to go back and think about some classic games to play. If you've ever done anything, experimented with anything like this, or heard about any articles that talk about this, let me know. Usually if you look up these articles, they talk about games games to play with parents, or like games I've played with my parents or whatever like that. It's people talking about games they played with their parents, not games they used to try and teach their parents how to play or anything like that. So I know there's a lot of stuff like PopCap games would be perfect for my mom. I have tons of Steam games, like the whole entire PopCap collection. So there are games out there that I could use and take advantage of this thing, but I want to find a good console game for it. Probably some just anything at all. Anyway, if you guys have any good ideas, please let me know. And if you guys are trying to get your parents involved, try Wii Play. Wii Play's got the perfect pacing for it. If you got a Wii or a Wii U, try this out. I think your parents will end up liking it. I ended up having a blast with my mom. We ended up having a lot of fun, yelling and giggling and laughing. And my mom was literally having the time of her life when we were playing. There's a cow racing game in it where you're racing down a dirt path. And if anyone knows that game can be really silly. But my mom was just, laughing until she started crying at how funny everything was, and she was playing so badly. She eventually figured it out, and that's the point, is when you notice that they're interested and they want to keep trying. Like, well, okay, let's try it again. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Okay, we'll do it one more time. And when she started playing the top-down tank game, where you move a 1 and then you aim with your cursor with the Wiimote, that's when I knew there was a possibility. So, anyway, what's up on the games? Tell me what's going on. What have you done to try and get your parents, moms, grandmas, whatever, and yes, my mom did play Guitar Hero, to play games. And if you haven't and want to try something out like this, try out getting Wii Play. You could get this for a couple bucks, I'm sure, at GameStop or any other freaking retailer for that matter, used. And yeah, check it out. Let me know what's going on. And if you guys have any ideas for this kind of thing, let me know, and I'll have a follow-up video after I've looked over my collection of some games that I could probably try out. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I will catch you kitty cats and Cadillacs later. Peace.